hire a boat?
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for passage, talk to Captain Gjalund.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore. Sure. Yeah, that's me. Why? Who sent you? Now, hold on. That wasn't my fault. I didn't know they were going to attack anybody. I don't even know how I got here. It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim. Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there. All right, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do. Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself. Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions. You've picked one of the worst places in Morrowind to do that, but suit yourself. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blackflower. We're on the frontier out here, and we've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Raven Rock started out as an Imperial settlement, but the Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, and when House Redoran took over, We turned it around, and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from there. Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. Attempted expansion, revenge for the enslavement of their people, or perhaps both. Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives. Many more were exiled from their homeland. Gjalund, I was starting to wonder what happened to it.
We were delayed by bad weather. Before you even ask, yes, I have the supplies you requested. But
What?
this load cost me double what we'd agreed on. Nothing I can do about it.
Damn it, Gjalund, you know we don't have that much coin.
Look, the East Empire Company didn't give me a choice. They've raised their prices again. And there's nothing I can do about it.
After all these years, they're gouging us for every last drake we have. Let me talk to Laeral. I'll see what we can do.
All right, Admiral. Don't worry about rushing it. Just pay me when you can.
If you're looking for passage to Vvardenfell, you're out of luck. No ships are heading that way anymore. I can't believe I've been stuck here this long. If you're looking for the East Empire Company, they've been gone for over 100 years.
Talk to Captain Gjalund if you're looking for passage.
If you're looking for supplies, talk to Thaddeus. He'll set you up with whatever you need.
Here in his shrine.
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here? Nerak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. That makes very little sense. Nerak's been dead for thousands of years. I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Nerax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there. Building something, clearly, and yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish. Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out. It's the homeland of the Dunmer. The lesser races call us Dark Elves. We built great works there, like Vivek and Gjalund. Many of them are destroyed now, either by Red Mountain or the Argonian invasion. There is the big island of Windhelm, the coastal mainland. House Telvanni has its properties on Windhelm. I've never been to the mainland myself. Red Mountain dominates the island. Every now and then, ash and debris from an eruption land on our ships. When the city of Vivek was destroyed, it took decades for us to rebuild. We are still but a shadow of our glorious past. But someday we will rise again. You are too young to remember the Nera. Defeated Dagorhur and saved us all from the Blight. The ignorant think it is only a place of ash and lava. It has rolling green plains and swamps and verdant hills too. It is the only place where silt striders can be found. Although I managed to transplant a few here when I arrived. That's that then.
World will cease to be. Here in his shrine, that they have forgotten.
Here, do you?
That seems inadvisable. Oh,
Here, you reclaim.
fascinating. By touching the stone, you appear to have fallen under whatever influence is affecting the others.
Far from yourself.
Ah, so you are able to resist the effect by exerting your will. Fascinating. I wonder if a dragon could be captured
He grows
alive.
ever near
It would
to
make a
us.
fascinating test subject.
Our eyes once blinded.
Are we done? I thought so.
Now, our hands once were idle.
Now through them does he speak.
And when the world shall listen,
And when the world shall see, and when the world remembers,
Hello there. My name is Lucas. I just returned to Raven Rock, the land where I was born, and that war is my home partner, both and well trained. I'm on Raven Rock to end my days here, but this guard is used to travel, not to stay stopped in a place. So if you want, you can take him with you. That will be the best to him. He's a good friend, a loyal partner, too brave. He will defend you, and he will carry your things. Treat him well.
Glover Mallory is a wonder with me. He mended my arms like an old friend. If it wasn't for the bulwark,
What can I do for you, friend? Let's go.
You look like the adventurer type, yes? Jikidar needs your help. Please, will you help him? It is Jikidar's brother, Jazigri. He has been taken by slavers. They are Dunmer from Morrowind, and come to the east of this town. They call themselves House Dres. Jikidar went to their settlement to beg for Jazigri's release, but he could not get in. Too many guards, and Jikidar is lover, not fighter. But you can help, yes? Thank you, 1,000 times thank you. Riddlethar bless you, friend.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Teldrin Sero, blade for hire. If you have the coin, I'm at your service.
Welcome to the Rutching Netch Corner Club, milady. If you need anything, Master Geldis will be happy to help you. Did I know someone by that name? Someone that wanted something. Maybe I'm just confused. I can't be sure. Safe travels.
What's the hurry?
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sujammer that will ever grace your lips. The finest Sujammer to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujammer. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it. I was kinda hoping you'd say that. Here, take these samples of the Sujamma and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you. Welcome to the Retching Netch, Outlander. What can I get you? There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sujamma in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born, and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink!" and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. You've done well. Thank you. Here, this is for you. If you're looking for a room or perhaps some libations, you've come to the right place. The ash-spawn attacks on the bulwark are getting worse. Captain Veleth is trying his best, but I think the Redoran Guard are overwhelmed. The Redoran Guard have spotted a pack of werewolves in the mountains. The hunters up on Frostmoon Crag might know more. Come back if you're feeling thirsty. I'll set you up right. Sorry, Gildas won't allow me to drink while I'm working at the netch. Yes. All right then.
Merkle doesn't lend coin to outlanders. Look somewhere else.
Teldrin Cerro, blade for hire. If you have the coin, I'm at your service.
Azura's wisdom to you, friend.
Safe travels.
Not much contact. Keep moving.
Anything
I
you can
trust you're not
contribute to
planning any
Raven Rock
trouble.
will be greatly
What can I do for you,
appreciated.
friend?
And rewarded appropriately. On behalf of House Redoran and as Counselor of Raven Rock, I bid you welcome. Good old Geldis is always managing to keep our spirits up. And our eyesight hazy. Thank you. Do I? What a strange thing. It sounds so familiar, and yet I cannot place the name. I'm not even sure. I can picture a temple here on Solstheim. It must have been a bad dream. Solstheim is theoretically under my rule, but without revenue from the mine, I lack the resources to actually govern anything but Raven Rock itself. Not that there's much beyond the confines of our town anyway. Well, there's a small enclave of Nords to the north in Skarl village. They pretty much keep to themselves, and we both like it that way. Then there's Tel Mithrin to the east. The Telvanni live out there, sort of a strange lot. But since we're both from Morrowind, we get along. Other than that, Solstheim is crawling with bandits and weaklings. But that's to be expected living in a frontier like this. You've never heard of House Redorin? We're the mightiest of the great houses, and we lead the council, the ruling body of Morrowind. This isn't Skyrim, Outlander. A group of powerful and influential Dunmer families have been ruling Morrowind for millennia. They embody a council made up of 5 great houses: Telvanni, Dres, Dorald, Sadras, and Redorin. Well, of course, with 4 other houses on the council, someone has to keep the rabble organized. Our house leads the council by virtue of our preeminence in battle, wisdom, and ancestral glory. Yes, I imagine it would to someone not of our people. If you're interested in pursuing the subject, help yourself to any of the historical volumes in my library. It used to be one of the richest ebony mines in Morrowind, but it dried out years ago. Now, we're barely holding out here. Without the mine, Raven Rock doesn't feel like it can last much longer. My doors are open if you wish to discuss matters.
Perhaps our town isn't as... You aren't here with bad news regarding my husband, are you? I couldn't bear it. Oh, how kind. Thank Elders for me, won't you? A few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition bookshop in the Imperial City to be rebound. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived. Yes, the Strident Squall, or something like that. The damn thing sunk right off the coast of Solstheim. Can you imagine? One of the sailors survived. Poor thing crawled all the way to Raven Rock on his hands and knees. Before he died, he told the Redorin Guard about the wreck and warned us that it was going to be crawling with reavers. Thank you. You have no idea how much it hurts losing such a precious heirloom.
I understand.
My husband is second
I know you're
counselor.
both doing your
Yes,
best.
Sirrah? Why does that sound so familiar? There's no one here by that name, and yet I swear I've heard it. I don't know. It almost feels like a dream. Something about a temple on the island. Admiral Arano, second counselor of Raven Rock. How I hate that title. Damn fool's going to get himself killed over it someday. He's in grave danger, and yet he continues to place himself in harm's way. When I fall asleep at night, all I can do is hope he'll still be there when I awaken. This island was never meant for us. There's too much death here. I assure you, if I could convince Admiral to do that, I'd be on the next ship back to Blacklight. Unfortunately, Admiral and Councillor Morvain are very close friends, and they will never abandon one another, despite my feelings. I'm the wife of a second counselor, and certain things are expected of me. The most important thing is that I stand by Admiral no matter how I feel, and I intend to do that until we get off this miserable rock. Admiral and I lived in Blacklight, the capital city of Morrowind. House Redorin has improved Blacklight substantially over the last 1,000 years. Its grandeur rivals that of Mournhold itself. The root spire where the Council of Great Houses meet is something to behold. I haven't seen the city in over 50 years. Even for a Dunmer, that seems like an eternity. Regardless, I hope to return there someday, which doesn't seem likely given my husband's commitment to Councillor Morvain. My husband is second counselor, so I certainly have...
Your visit here will be tolerated as long as you abide by our rules. Otherwise, you'll answer to the Redorin Guard. What? Oh, no, thank you. I need to keep my head clear.
Gjalund can only carry carry so much on each journey, and I'm
Remember,
afraid we might run out.
we're watching you.
I'll speak with Garen and see if we can't increase